All right. That time again. Chat, chill, and get ready with me time. So if you've been here before, you guys ask me questions and we chat, we chill while I get ready. So I get all of these questions from you guys, either the comment section of my previous Chat, Chill, and Get Ready with me. I do these every single month. I ask on my Instagram story, and then I also post in my YouTube community tab. So if you're looking for like next time, that's where I always ask for questions. But like I said, you can feel free to use the comment section of this video and ask any other questions too, because I do check back on this. I am really bad about checking my comment section, but on these, I'm really good at checking them. Anyways, that's all we're gonna do today. It's pretty casual. Also, we're just coming off of Memorial Day weekend, so this video is a little delayed, but you know, better late than never. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump in. Oh, I can only see with one eyeball. Hold on. First question that I got was, do you have a plan to make an Adam Driver fan fiction? Which, when I got this question, I genuinely had to laugh. Not because like at the question itself, but just at the fact that it's like, am I that... I mean, like, I know I'm pretty open on here with you guys, but the fact that, like, even you guys, like, my real life friends, like, they would not even, like, think twice. They would be like, oh my God, Adam Driver, of course. But, like, the fact that you guys on the internet, like, that's how often I talk about how much I love him, that even you guys know that, and enough to ask if I would ever make a fan fiction of him, like... Either I'm doing something really right or really wrong. No, I do love Adam Driver. And this is nothing against Adam Driver fanfics, because we know, I've read them. The Love Hypothesis turned into like, one of the biggest books the other years ago. And that was literally a Raylo fanfiction. So no, like this is absolutely no shade, no tea to fanfiction or to fanfiction writers. I just don't see myself ever writing a fanfiction ever. Like, I don't know. I don't think I could ever like play off of someone else's characters. Like, you know how people write like Harry Potter fanfictions? I could never do that. And also, I just don't think I could ever write like real people. I just have way more fun with like make-believe. Will you ever write an MM story? 100%. I would love to write, there's so many books that I want to write. I would love to write MM. I'd love to write Sapphic. I'd love to write a Why Choose. I'd love to write all of those. I just don't have the stories right now for them. I very much so don't, I've talked about this before, but I very much so do not choose what stories like come to me, because I also know how much you guys would love it if I wrote a student teacher book, but like I can't just like think of a trope and then just decide like, oh, that's what I'm for sure gonna go ahead and write right now. Like that's just not really how my brain works in terms of stories. Like it genuinely just come to me. So even though I would love to write an MM, would love to write Sapphic, and would love to write Why Choose, I genuinely just have to wait for those to like come to me. Yes, 100% down the line, just I don't know when. What kind of cats do you have? So I do have two cats. In case if you're new here, their names are Dorian and Aria, and I adopted them when they were wee little babies. Dorian's actually I have a bookcase right behind here, and he's actually laying on top just staring at, more like glaring at me. So yeah, so they are domestic long-haired cats. So I like didn't really know what breed they were, so I adopted them from a rescue in my state, and they were with a foster family, and they were a bonded pair, brother and sister. They're biological brother and sister, and I like to say that Aria is definitely like even just a few minutes older than Dorian, even though they are like they're technically quadruplets. They had another brother and sister too, but I like to think that Aria gives very much older sister energy, and he gives very much younger brother energy. And yeah, they are domestic long-haireds. I think some people say that they think Dorian is part Mancoon, but then that like doesn't make sense to me, because Aria is like literally his biological sister, and she doesn't really look as much like a Mancoon, but Dorian has a lot of the features of him. And one of my co-workers who used to have Mancoon cats, whenever he comes on like a meeting, she's always like, I'm sure that he is part Mancoon. So I mean, he very well could be, but like I said, I literally just got them from like this rescue, so like I don't really know. Does Daniel die in a really horrible way? So in case if you haven't read Take You Down, that is my second book. Not me getting my own book wrong. Yeah, that would be Take My Hand. Thank you very much. In the Whispering Nothing series, it is a complete standalone, so you can jump into it without reading the first one. But Daniel is a character in there. He's a side character, and this is not like a spoiler or anything. He's Carter's ex-boyfriend, who is the heroine in that one. And I like to think, in my head, I like to think that he actually lives a very long and miserable life, okay? I like to think that he literally cannot die, like a cockroach or something, and he just like literally doesn't die, but he's so miserable. Obviously, like, he gets blacklisted from like jobs in the industry, so then like I like to think that he has to end up in like some customer service job where everyone yells at him every single day because people are so rude to customer service people. And I like to just think that he is like miserable, alone, and yeah, just hating his life, never gets married, never has kids, never like accomplishes anything, retires without like a good 401k, that kind of situation. Like, I think that death is too good for him, quite frankly, and I would just like to see him live long and miserable. Favorite scene or snippet that you can share from your current work in progress? So currently, well, technically I'm done. Well, I'm done for right now. So when I'm filming this, I am 4 days ahead of my deadline for Starting Line, which is the book that I am working on right now. It's my Summer Olympic book. It is going to be releasing July 22nd. Actually, the original release date was July 29th, but I'm going to have it done earlier. So I want it out earlier. So I'm going to be releasing it July 29th or July 22nd. And it is following an Olympic swimmer and an Olympic gymnast doing a documentary leading up to the Summer Olympics. And so what was it, my favorite scene or snippet? So this isn't like a spoiler scene or anything, but basically TJ's birthday overlaps with the Summer Olympics, and like she's not going to be able to get to celebrate that. And Caleb is like, well, if you don't get to celebrate that, then I'm going to make sure that you celebrate. And he ends up taking her out months earlier, back like before the Olympics, and he ends up taking her out to a bar so she can like experience like a real 21st birthday, as anyone should, before they actually go to the Olympics. And it's just like kind of a bit of a pivotal time in the book for them and for their relationship and everything. And that is just my favorite. It was one of the, I think it was probably like the second scene that came to me in my head in terms of this book, where that's what I like saw. I saw a different, like at the 80%, or maybe it's like the 75%. It's really deep into book. Sorry, I got a phone call, and oh my God, I did a shoddy job of blending that. Okay, sorry, got a phone call. So I just finished blending out that, but I didn't like do anything else. So what was I talking about? Oh, my favorite scene in Starting Line. So that is definitely my favorite scene, or one of them, just because it's such like a pivotal moment for them, and it's just so cute, and I don't know, I love that. So it's like the bar scene. I think it ends up being around like chapters like 16 or 17 or so. You'll know it when you read it, if you do choose to read it, but I love it. It's my favorite. Who are your fave booktubers? Personally, I don't have other social media, and you are my favorite on BookTube. Thank you. Where do you get your inspiration from? Can you tell us some booktubers with similar taste to you? So I'm gonna be honest, I don't watch a ton of BookTube right now. I just don't watch a ton of YouTube. I just don't watch a ton of things in general right now. Like, especially I feel like as I've been writing and with deadlines, I just have not really been watching a whole lot of anything. But I will say, so like if you want good like fantasy, I get asked a lot of the times for like fantasy romance, and I just like don't have, like, I don't read a lot of fantasy romance. So like Jess from Honest Fiction does a lot of great fantasy romance. Sam from Sam Reads a lot of fantasy romance. She also reads like historical fiction and stuff now too. So she reads some different stuff. If you want taste like similar to mine, I feel like Cheyenne from That Tall Book Girl reads a lot of pretty similar kind of like things to me. Also Nikki from Nikki and Bookland. I know she's been kind of taking like a bit of a break this year, but she also reads pretty similar to me. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I just don't really watch a ton of BookTube anymore. But where do you get your inspiration from? Honestly, it's just kind of, I see like Bookstagram trends, kind of carrying that over here. I don't know. Going back and looking at old videos that I've done that I can like do again. I'll be honest, I don't feel like as inspired by videos lately, because I feel like I don't know. I don't feel like as inspired. Like, I'm liking the videos that I'm doing, and I'm liking the content that I'm making. I used to sometimes be like, I could make like 3 videos a week because I had so many ideas and stuff. And now it's like, sometimes I'm scraping at the barrel to just like find a video to do, to get like 2 a week. So anyways, I don't know. Inspiration comes and goes. Bookstagram trends, and then kind of like depending on what I'm reading. So like I've been reading like a lot of darker romance right now lately. So I'm thinking I can do like maybe another Touch Her and I'll Kill You video, even though I just did another one recently. It kind of like also what I'm reading shapes, I guess, what I like get inspired to do. How far in advance do you prepare your books? Like, do you always know what you're going to work on next, or is it a surprise? So it is very much, I know what I'm working on next. So for example, Starting Line, I'm getting ready to turn that into my editor on June 2nd. And then I already know, I've already been outlining, and I'm hoping to actually have my outline done by the time that I turn it in, so that way I can immediately start on Take What You Want, which is book 3 of the Whisper Me Nothing series. That's always been the plan, that I would do that one right after, and like the inspiration is there. I'm really excited to write that book, so like I'm keeping that one next in line. And then here's the thing after that. I did think that I was going to jump immediately into book 4 of Whisper Me Nothings. Like, I kind of thought that I honestly have all of my 2025 and even my first book of 2026 planned out. Because obviously if I'm doing a summer Olympic book, I'm going to do a winter Olympic book. So that would be 2026, first release there. But I actually, like, I kind of have an idea right now for another standalone book that I'm like really, really excited about. I'm thinking that maybe actually I might slot that in between 3 and 4. I don't know. But I will say I pretty much know the general consensus of the next like, hi Dory, of probably like the next, 4 or 5 books that I'm going to be working on. I pretty much like know what they all are. And then it's just a little bit more like, where is the order going to be of what do I feel like working on? Where's the inspiration at? Because like I won't force anything. Like if I'm not ready to write something, I'm not going to write it. So I'd say I probably have like the next like 4 or 5 books pretty solidly lined up of what I'm going to be working on. Like looking ahead right now, I know I have the 2 Whisper Me Nothings. I'm going to do a novella. I've already talked about that a little bit. I think I've like dropped it here before. Walker and Scar again, a novella. And I'll release that really shortly after book 4. So like those will come like almost simultaneously. And then I have this new standalone that I've been excited about. And then I have like a trilogy on deck. I have another standalone I'm thinking about. I literally have so many books on the conveyor belt. It's just like what is going to pop up first. Around when will your sports romance be released? So like I said, July 22nd, Monday, July 22nd, it'll be released. I will do arcs, and I think I'll do arc signups like the first week of July. So if you are interested in an arc, keep an eye out for that. Current read. So I just finished yesterday God of Fury by Rena Kent. And oh my God, I genuinely, like, I know I'm about to be in the worst slump ever because I have binge read the entire Legacy of God series back to back, and I literally don't know what to do with myself now until God of War, which is the last book, comes out in just a couple of weeks here. So I did start The Sinner by Chantal Tessier because I'm still just like craving like a really, really fucked up man, quite frankly, and like just something really messed up, really dark, you know, just kind of twisted. So I did start that. I don't know. I just think honestly right now I'm just going to be in a bit of a slump. So I'm just trying to like push through that. That is what I'm currently reading. And then I'm also listening to Nightfall by Penelope Douglas. I've been rereading the Devil's Night series this year on audio, and currently I'm on Nightfall and really loving it. How's life? Life is pretty good. It's pretty crazy, pretty hectic like always, but honestly, it's not too bad right now. I can't complain. The sun is shining and I'm ahead on my deadline on Starting Line. I'm feeling really freaking good about that book, and I'm so excited to write Take What You Want. So honestly, life is pretty damn good right now. I don't really have any complaints. And my kitties, I'm back home with my kitties. I was away for Memorial Day weekend, but I'm back with them, and that makes me happy too. Will we get a shelf tour? I do have a bookshelf tour up on my YouTube here, so it shouldn't have been that long ago, so you can scroll back and find it. But yeah, I do already have a bookshelf tour posted. Hockey romance book recommendation. So I actually answered this one on my Instagram story because I don't want to turn this into like a book recommendation video. So I posted like a bunch of hockey recs, and then also I have a hockey book romance recommendation video that I literally just did like 2 months ago. So you can go ahead and check that out. I'll try to remember to link it in the description. And then same, I got dark romance recs somewhere. I need recs for dark romance. I also literally just did another rec video for dark romance, so I will link that below. Otherwise, I literally have so many dark romance book recommendation videos on my channel. I have probably more of those than anything else, and pretty much all of them are like my most viewed videos. So if you go to my profile and like click on most popular, probably like in the top 10 there are probably like 8 dark romance videos in that. So again, I don't want these to turn into like rec videos since I do those separately, so I will just plug that for that. How did you come up with the scene where Carter destroys Hayden's instrument? So I don't technically feel like this is a spoiler because I'm not giving away anything that leads up to this, and I will not really say anything more. It is a scene in Take My Hand. And honestly, I don't know how to answer this because once again, I don't know. It literally just came to me. I just saw it one day, but I will say that this was the scene where, so all of my books basically I feel like can be traced back to like where I saw a certain scene play out, and Take My Hand, this was one of those key scenes. I saw this scene. I knew what Carter's story was going to be. I'm not going to get into anything here. You can read the book and find out. I don't want to spoil anything, but I knew what Carter's story was going to be, and I knew that she needed to have this moment of rage when it was talked about without her wanting to disclose it. I saw it in my head. It actually changed a little bit. It was actually at a venue instead, and then it switched to being like at his home and everything. I don't know. I just always knew that she needed to have this moment of just like female rage. And I don't know. And I just knew that he would be there for her in that moment. And such a key thing about Hayden is that material things don't matter to him. This, again, is not a spoiler. It's known, even if you like read the blurb of the book. Hayden survived a mass shooting. And he has realized since then that it's like truly any tangible thing in his life doesn't matter. Like things don't matter to him because he's seen how quickly people can just be here and gone. So he doesn't care about materialistic things. Like his whole like house building project and then like him being willing to like whatever. It's all because he doesn't like, that's not important to him. It's the people that are important to him. It's the relationships in his life. And Carter is the most important thing to him. And so like it didn't matter to him. And I actually know someone was like really upset that she did that. I don't know. I love that scene. I love that moment for Carter. I love that moment for Hayden. And it is still behind the photography scene. It's my favorite scene in that entire book. I loved writing it. I love like when I was rereading that back every single time, I just kind of got like swept up in her emotion in it. And yeah. I don't know. I don't have like the key thing of inspiration that it came from. It just like, it really truly just like popped into my head, and it was a key building block of that book. What book would you love to see a special edition for? I'm trying to remember like what books don't I have a special, like, so the Unrequited actually now I'm getting because Saffron Kent is doing an exclusive. So maybe like Garen Park. I know there are like those cartoon covers. Y'all just know I'm not the biggest fan of cartoon covers. So I'd love to maybe see one of Garen Park. Okay, God of Wrath by Rena Kent is my current new obsession, but I've seen the Baddies Book Box one and I'm trying to find it for like not hundreds and hundreds of dollars. What would be another recent, like any recent book? Maybe like Where There's a Will and If There's a Way by Jessie Walker, that duet, like maybe would love to see a special edition of those. Yeah, is there anything that I've read recently that I'm trying to think is there even a book that I've read recently that doesn't already have a special edition of it? Head in the Game by Rebecca Rath. I would love to see a special edition of that. That's that football coach athlete book that I haven't shut up about. Would love to see a special edition of that book. I think that would be great. Are you dating? Love that you guys are very invested. Actually, you know what though? I think I was able to get through the last chat chill and get ready with me about a question of if I'm dating. Not that I'm like, I don't care. I'm fine chatting about like personal life stuff in here. So technically, yes, I did make a deal with myself at the beginning of the year that I was going to try to at least go on like one date a month, which like may not sound like a lot to some people, but like I choose to be single and like I don't like dating. So I was like, that'll be good. That'll push me out of my comfort zone. And that has very quickly failed. Once again, I feel like, okay, and I do use busy as an excuse, but like genuinely, March and April were hell months for me. Like I cannot explain how little time I had in March and April, because in March was leading up to to Take My Hand releasing, I was moving, and then I was going on vacation at the beginning of April, all while also trying to get Starting Line done and like get that first draft done. So I quite literally didn't do like anything for myself in March or April. Like those 2 months were just hell months. And then May has been kind of like me just enjoying having free time again. And I don't know. So like technically, yes, I am dating. I'm not saying no, but also like I'm not looking for a relationship either right now, if that makes sense. It's the summer. I just want to have fun. Is there anything wrong with just having fun? So no, I don't really like want to settle down with anyone right now. Also, I genuinely know myself and like my capacity for what I can do. And I just like don't have the time, I think, to put into a partner. And granted, this is all subject to change. Okay. If Hayden Christensen walked by my window right now, I'd be throwing everything I just said out the window. Okay. So all subject to change, but this is my headspace right now, is that it's like, I'm just busy. I'm loving what I'm doing. I love my apartment. Like I got this like big apartment all to myself, and I'm writing, I'm doing things that I'm enjoying. And I don't know, I just don't feel the need to like complicate that with another person. And also just like the emotional bandwidth that relationships take. Like right now, I just like not having that complication, while I'm also just trying to put so much of my time and energy into writing. But like I said, subject to change. But my attitude for the summer is very much just like, I just want to have some fun. All-time favorite quote from any book and favorite quote that you've written. Oh, this is a time where I should have like prepared an answer. All-time favorite quote from any book and favorite quote you've written. Okay, I genuinely don't know. You know what? I'm gonna save this question because I genuinely want to be able to give a good answer to that one. Not that like I've been giving shitty answers, but like that's one where I have to think about it. So I'm gonna save that question for right now because I don't want to answer that without like thinking about it because I'm gonna save that question. What are your top 5 goals for 2025? For 2025? Okay, so that's already like what are we in right now? We're in May of 2024. So I guess already looking at next year, like, I don't know. I just feel like so much changes even just like month to month, day to day. So it's like how to already think about what I want for 2025. I guess write more books. That's going to be my goal. I'm thinking at least for right now in 2025, I'll probably at least have 3 books published and then hopefully the Walker and Scar novella. So I don't know. I guess like that would be a goal. Maybe like 2 books. Maybe I'll say 2 books in the novella just like because you never know. But I guess that would be a goal to keep on publishing. I don't know. I'm happy with my apartment. Like that used to be a goal of getting like a bigger apartment with like a room for an office and a library. And like I got that this year. So like I'm good with that. I don't know. I guess just be happier with myself. I feel like, you know, I'm in a good place in my life and I'm happy where I'm at. I don't know. I just feel like it's so hard to be thinking already like for months and months down the line. I don't know. Maybe ask me this question again in like November or December because truly like it's just I never know. Like you never even know day to day how your life could change. So it's like to already be thinking for next year, like I don't know. My goals and priorities may even change for next year. So I don't know. I guess for now, I'll leave it at like publishing books and just being happy, but ask me again when it gets closer because I might be able to give a better answer. Fave thing about writing Rockstar romance. Honestly, what isn't my favorite thing about writing Rockstar romance? I love it. It is genuinely what makes me happy. Like, don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed writing Starting Line mostly for the characters, but oh my God, every time they had to like go to the gym and go to practice, I was just like, we gotta do this again. Where like in Rockstar romances, I love the touring, I love the studio scenes, I love the media engagements, I love the lifestyle, I love being on the road, I love writing like them performing. I love all of those like aspects of it outside of like the romance itself. So I genuinely love Rockstar romances. And I think because I love music so much, like genuinely, every single book that I have written like has come from a song, like inspiration from listening to music. Even like as I was driving back and forth this weekend for Memorial Day weekend, I was just sitting brainstorming, listening to music because like that's what truly like gives me inspiration. And I just love music so much. So I love writing about like in that world. It's just fun to me. It's fun. I love the fast pace of like the lifestyle. And I think I understand like the creative artist energy I think that like these characters have more so than like the athletic drive that like let's say in the sports romance. Like I don't personally understand because I hate like working out. You know, like I'm not one of those people who's like, oh my God, I get like endorphins from that. I don't get a single goddamn endorphin from working out. I fucking hate working out. But I love listening to music. I love creating. I love doing that sort of thing. So I think I understand like that kind of person more and I understand that kind of character more. So I don't know. I love writing them. I think they're so fun. And yeah, there's nothing that I really don't love. What is one author you really want to dive into who you haven't tried yet and why? I don't even know. Like, is there anyone that I haven't tried that I like for sure? Like I know obviously I have books on my TBRs of authors that I haven't tried, but like is there one in particular that I'm like, oh, I've been really, really wanting to read them? Oh, maybe Neva Altaj. Is that the author of like Broken Whispers, that like mafia series? I really want to read that and that's been on my TBR for a while, so maybe her. Just because I've heard such amazing things about that mafia romance series that she has. So probably that, just because, yeah, I've heard such good things and I really love mafia books, so would love to read more of hers. Also, Candy Steiner's backlist. I've read a few Candy Steiner books, but I do need to get more into Candy Steiner's backlist. Same with Karina Halley. There are 2 authors that I feel like I have read before, but I haven't read enough from. What is your favorite and least favorite thing about reading? I don't think I have a least favorite thing, except that I feel like I will never get to read all of the books that I want to read in my lifetime, and I'll never be able to write all of the books that I want to write in my lifetime. But I think my favorite thing is just the escapism. It truly, I love reading more than anything. I love sitting down, and when you get into like a really good book and you just can't put it down. I don't know. I genuinely love reading. It's my favorite hobby I've ever had. So like there's not anything that I really don't love about reading. I love, like I said, love the escapism. I love the characters. I love finding stories that like truly move you, truly touch you. I love finding characters that I love and like feel like real people to me. I love the understanding and the lens that it can give you into different people, walks of life, everything. I love everything about reading. And I love everything about the romance genre too. Like there's not anything that I guess I don't love. If you could pick one book to read again for the first time, what would you pick? Thank you for all the effort you put into videos, and I can't wait to read Starting Line. Thank you so much. I'm so excited for you guys to read Starting Line. I truly, truly am. What was the question? Oh, one book to reread again for the first time? Probably Manacled by Senlin Yu, which is a Harry Potter fanfiction. Probably that. Or I know you said one, but it's like, that's hard. So I would say probably that. The Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. Would love to read that again for the first time. Probably those two. Like there are so many books I would love to reread for the first time, but truly those like that series and that standalone. Not a question, but yay, Nikolai and Jane. I'm very excited. Very, very excited. I don't want to say that like Whisper Me Not, like the first two books were like just written to get to Jane and Nikolai, but like really Jane and Nikolai are the couple that from the beginning I was the most excited to write in Whisper Me Nothings. They were kind of like the couple that I felt like I was writing the first two to kind of get to, and it's almost their time soon and I'm so excited. Will you consider doing a reader recommendation book video? I would love to recommend you some of my favorites. So yeah, I did one of these I think last year where I just like let you guys, and then I just, you know, like read them off and reacted to them, whatever. Because, like, I hate doing vlogs, so I definitely, quite frankly, like, wouldn't do a vlog for this, just being honest, just because, like, I don't love doing those. But I would love to do, like, another video style like that, so definitely look for that. I'll probably post that on my Instagram of, like, asking you guys books to recommend, so that's where like I'll ask for those, but I definitely want to do one of those again soon. I've read romance before, but I'm just getting into it as a main genre. What is one series that you feel is holy grail and a must read if you are a romance reader, open to dark, taboo, etc. / no restrictions necessary? Oh my god, I mean, like, a must read, that is like hard. I do feel like if you want like age gap, I feel like Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas is a staple. Everyone has to read that book. Okay, love it. It's an ex's dad, slow burn romance, forced proximity. I feel like you definitely have to read that. But also I feel like my staples are very different from a lot of people's staples because I don't really read like a ton of the like popular books, or like especially like right now with the small town, like I'm sure a lot of people would say the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver. Granted, I love the 3 books I've read out of that series, but for me it's not like a must read. Other ones, just for me personally, I do feel like the Born in Blood Chronicles by Cora Riley for like a mafia series, must read. Devil's Night series by Penelope Douglas, dark romance series, must read. I mean, now Legacy of God series by Rena Kent. Dear God, I'm obsessed with them. I can't stop thinking about them. Let's see, what would be Twisted series by Anna Huang. I feel like that is like a general one that I would recommend to like more broad people. Love that series. Great hot men across the board. Would those kind of be, I'm trying to think, are there any more like standalones that I feel like you like have to read? I feel like standalones there's just not as many. Oh, I guess if you are a student teacher kind of person, I do think that you like have to read Sweet Dandelion by Macaulay Smelter. Emotional slow burn romance, but like so worth that like slow burn journey. Okay, I got cold, so I went and threw on a t-shirt quick because I was just getting a little chilly. The air conditioner has like turned on, even though it's like nice outside. The sun has now kind of like left this window and I'm getting a little chilly. So, okay, we're getting kind of down to it here, like finishing makeup wise. So I don't know how many, as always, like if I don't get to your questions in this video, I save them and put them at the top of the list for the next video, so that way like I do have them left over still. Okay, would you write full-time as your job if you could? What's your ideal scenario for the future? So 100% yes. I would love to get to the point that I could write full-time in the future. I don't see that happening literally anytime soon though, and I've talked about this before, but it's been a long time since I've talked about this. So obviously with me being single, I pay all of my own bills. I am the one who gets me my vision benefits, my health benefits, my dent, like all of my insurance and everything is through me, through my full-time job. So no, I don't foresee myself probably going full-time writing literally anytime soon. Also, I really am big on like having financial security. I have good benefits. I have a good 401k. Like I don't want to jeopardize any of that by making any moves sooner than I would need to. So yes, obviously I would love to write full-time in the future. I do think, you know, one day if I find someone and I can get maybe benefits through like his job, you know, like if I were to get married and could get benefits through his job or something, then that would make things a little easier. But at least for right now, that's not happening. But I would love to write part-time, or I would love to write full-time, because I think of like all of the books that I could write, how much time I spend writing now, even though I do have a full-time job. I'm like, think of how productive I could be if I didn't. Obviously, yes, but for right now, I don't foresee that happening. I'd say maybe within the next like 5 years, I'd love to transition into that, but like I said, not happening anytime soon. Do you plot the outline of each character in the Whispering Nothing series before writing, or did you let each character develop as you write? I'm really asking about Reed. That moody man intrigues me. He also intrigues me too. So yes and no. So yes, I knew obviously all of the couples when I started writing Take You Down. I knew exactly all of the couples. I knew when their books would take place in order. I knew the general idea of each of their stories. However, I will say there is a lot that unfolds while I'm writing, especially like with Nikolai and Jane. Even there's still a lot unfolding as I've been making their outline that like I didn't originally anticipate. I'd say I always have like the broad overview. So like with Jane and Nikolai, I always knew that they were going to be second chance. I knew that they were together back when they were in high school, and then now they are getting their second chance as adults. And I always knew that that's how their story would play out. However, also I'm using a new mascara. I just got it this weekend. It's the e.l.f. one. They were a sponsor at the Indy 500, and like they were giving out a bunch of free makeup. So let's see. I'm really picky with mascara, mostly because I have 0 eyelashes. So let's see how this works today. But so I will say that yes, I do have a general idea. However, Reed was the one that I know I have not said anything about his heroine. I will not say anything about his heroine until it's time for that. But I will say he was the one that, yes, again, I had a general idea, but he really has formed a lot as I've been writing. So there are a lot of parts of his story that like I kind of like knew, but there are a lot that it was like, I don't really know. I don't really know the details of his plot. I kind of know certain things that make up his character, but I also like am open to finding out other things as I go. So that's kind of like how I treat that, I guess, is that like, yes, I know the general consensus of them, and like that's kind of the fun of it, because then I feel like it's enough where I kind of know where I'm going, and it doesn't feel like so overwhelming when I start to outline because I already have these pieces. But it's also fun because I don't feel so locked in that I can't be creative and kind of let the characters talk to me and kind of dictate and like create new things that I didn't really like see for them originally, if that makes sense. Also, I don't know if I love this. I don't feel like it's doing a whole lot for me. For like Reed specifically, I'd say he has a lot of layers to him. And I will say that while I probably know 75% of those layers, he's still uncovering them. And I'm sure he will even more as I write Take What You Want and as I get outlining for Take Me Home. So yeah, definitely I know where Reed is going. I know like who he is and what's going to happen, but there are a lot of like the little things that I am just kind of waiting for him to fill in the blanks for me. What is your favorite special edition that you own? I'd say like probably just because it's one of the most rare ones is the Mystic Box Birthday Girl special edition. Probably that one because it is so rare, and like I do love it, don't get me wrong. But what would be some of my other like favorites? I mean, is it like biased to say My Always Been You by QB Tyler special edition that I like helped create? I feel like that's a little biased, but like I do obviously love that one. I also have a bound copy of Manacled, which technically isn't a special edition, but it is like a fan fiction that I absolutely love and that I'm very, very lucky to have a bound copy of. So like also that. Okay, what is one book boyfriend that you would want in real life? ... One. Okay, so that is like really hard to pick, and especially since you said one, like I'm assuming that you're gonna really hold me to that. Here's the thing, I'm assuming that this also means that I cannot pick my own, because I would 100% pick James Walker. I feel like that I love Hayden. Okay, we'd be very matched, but we would also be very like unmatched with our anxiety, that we would just like be happy to sit in a corner and be introverts together. So I would for sure, obviously can't say them then, but I would for sure say James Walker. Okay, here's the thing. If I'm thinking like realistic book boyfriend, right now, Jeremy Volkov from God of Wrath by Raina Kent, I have not stopped thinking about him. Quite frankly, I wake up thinking about him. I go to bed thinking about him. He consumes everything. Same with Killian from that series too. He has one of the most fascinating internal monologues ever. However, I don't actually want them in real life. Okay, like I say, like, oh my gosh, that'd be so fun. I don't actually want a mafia man. Okay, I don't actually want a stalker. Okay, so if I have to actually go real life, I'm thinking long term. I'm thinking I would like to quit my job and write full time. Who can support that? Someone with money. So I'm thinking billionaires. Okay, Alex Volkov from Twisted Love, one of my favorite men. However, again, I need someone who's going to push me because I can be quite introverted. I'm very extroverted when I want to be, but I can be quite introverted and not want to leave the house. So I need someone to push me a little bit and someone that could like have some personality for me to like banter off with at a party. And that's not Alex, okay? I need someone with a sense of humor. So honestly, maybe like Christian Harper from Twisted Lies. But here's the thing, are we as matched other? I don't know. This is also saying that I could pull all of these men, that these men see me and they're instantly like, I want her, which like we clearly know that he would not. But Christian Harper would maybe be my pick, right? Also Kai from the Devil's Night series. But again, do I want like someone that's involved in stuff like that? I don't actually know. But then again, like Christian did literally shoot someone for Stella. So I don't know. Like I don't have normal taste in men, okay? I don't have normal taste in book men. Like I've always said August West from Long Shot would be great, but also like I don't want a professional athlete, okay? Especially not like a basketball player. I would love maybe like a professional hockey player, but again, like I don't want a professional athlete. I don't know. I mean, I would definitely take him. I'm not gonna complain about that. Who else? Like, again, I love Luca Vitiello, Born in Blood, but again, I don't want a mafia man. Like, I'm not trying to be a mafia person's wife, but again, he does have money. Honestly, maybe Josh Chen from the Twisted series. He's a doctor, so like he would have money, he would provide for me, and he's hot, and also, actually, it might be Josh. It might be Josh Chen from Twisted Love or Twisted Hate. I guess Anna Huang men, quite frankly. But yeah, I'm gonna say probably, but I mean like Christian, he's just, oh my God. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go with Christian Harper. That is subject to change. You know, maybe I'll answer this like in every chat chill and get ready with my video and we just see how many times I change my mind. Okay, I think that's where I'm gonna wrap it today. I still have to do lips, but I always suck at trying to talk while doing that. So I still have like 5 or so questions on here, but like I said, I will save those. I always bump them to the top of the list for the next video. Also, the one about my favorite quotes, and Natasha, I actually think that was you. I will bump that one up as well, but that's one that I genuinely want to think about, right? Like, I don't just want to do like a throwaway answer for that, especially because I do actually think that one of my favorite quotes is from Starting Line, but I need to like go back and like double check that there's not one from Take You Down or Take My Hand that I like more. Anyways, that is it for today's chat chill and get ready with me. I hope that you guys have a great day. I will have my wrap up on Friday, or no, am I doing TBR first? Maybe I don't know. TBR and wrap up are going to be the next 2 videos that you'll see from me. And then, like I said, I am going to be doing like a you guys recommend me books video. So keep an eye out on my Instagram story. I will probably be asking for that like maybe next week at some point. So anyways, that is it for today's video. Leave any other questions that you have for me below in the comments, because like I said, I use this comment section, or be on the lookout in about a month for me to post on Instagram and on here for more questions. So anyways, that is it for today's video, and I will see you when I see ya.